So second division here, I have already forgotten whose home map it was. So I think it might have been Nepo clan's home map. And as you can see from the minimap, or down here right below the minimap, the map is Hideout. So yeah, Hideout pretty slow start. The meta seems to be kind of fast castle play for the most part. You could go for some early aggression with like men at arms and towers as well. But from my first glance at the Sims here, I don't think that will be the case. In any case, though, let's hop into talking about the players here, and we'll start with Nepo Clan and the pocket player Pac-Man Stally here, playing as the Khmer. Very solid civilization on land maps in general, but especially on those semi-closed maps like Hideout or the closed maps like Arena. That's a funny bug, by the way. Looks wide open. Because Khmer don't need any buildings to unlock other buildings or technologies for that matter. So as the Khmer, you could comfortably go straight from the field age to the cast age without building any building at all. Usually you would of course build the lumber camp and mill anyway, but in theory you don't need them either. You only need food and then food and gold to go to the cast age. So Khmer, in theory, could comfortably go up to the cast age with 23 population and still go into 3 thesis boom from all the wood and resources saved, not needing to build the buildings for unlocking these technologies. But Khmer will be playing the cavalry role, could play knights here, could play elephants. They have access to arbalest as well, won't be seeing that from pocket position, but potentially siege with their heavy scorpions in the late game, getting unique tech allowing them to fire 2 projectiles. Which then comes in handy in certain situations if you find a good choke points on either side here. Now for the left side, or top side here rather, is Mr. Wololowitz with the Saracens. So that could indicate some early or feudal age potential aggression here, because the Saracens archers can easily break through the palisade walls with their bonus against buildings. This is Nepo home map, thanks Rakuni. I needed to hear that. So could be an option, or it could still be fast castle crossbow from the Saracens for an extra attack against the buildings power spike in the castle age. They get +1 attack, I believe, against buildings for H, the Saracens archers line units. And to the south here we have Pleb Guardiola with the Chinese. A bit more surprising sim, but as a flank they can certainly still play the archers role more than comfortably. They also have the unique unit, the Chukonu, a machine gun archer is firing really quickly, so that's something that could come into play as well if they go for defensive or offensive castles. Shakuni already walling off here though, doesn't want to risk any early aggression from the opposing flank here, and looks like they are ganging up on the Pleb Guardiola scout here, so Pleb Guardiola alone won't be able to stop this wall from happening. I wonder if this relic is going to be picked to open the walls later on though. That would be funny. But walls going up almost all the way towards the edge here. Let's see if Shakuni has the scouting here. Yeah, here come houses on the end as well, so they are aware that this might very well be an opening. Commits 2 villagers to walling here though. That's going to take its toll on their economy and production, and you'd also want loom for your walling villagers. Something that it's likely that the other players might not go for if they are opting for the fast castle. But over to the other side though, we have Deno 037 in their pocket with a Malay here. So, Malay on Hideout. First thought goes to the Elephant Stampede, going for the 20 elephants in 20 minutes approach here, which can be ridiculously strong against opponents that are admittedly walled in, but it's only palisade walls, so if you have enough elephants in time, you should still be breaking through rather easily on either side. And in this case, it's probably going to be the north side, since Shakuni is walling the south. So I'm expecting elephants here. That's not to say that Malay doesn't come in handy later on if the push fails. In the Imperial Age they get forced levy, so you could spam long swords, no, 200 swordsmen for food only, which is a pretty crazy trash unit to have to take out enemy buildings or other kinds of melee units In the north, we have the Britons for Anon 642. We'll be playing the Archer's role here. So imagine a... what happened here? Game crash, or... No, not really. Yeah, it seems I need to restart Capture Age here. Yeah, it was kind of stuttery. It's been flowing decently so far. But I'll restart it, and also remember to minimize Age of Empires 2, because that's something I didn't. That should help a little bit. So we'll see what they bring up for me here. I want to see if we have the... Oh. Yeah, I think we should be good to go now. Could be because I enabled small trees! Yay! Is it? Yeah, it's small trees. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going here. I was... Uh-huh. Please. There we go. Yeah, it's not optimal, but the flow seems usable. Seems a little bit better at least. So yeah, expecting elephants from the pocket, but combined with Britain's archers or crossbows, probably going to be fast casted crossbows here from Anon, could be very, very hard to stop. Because if you have crossbows on the field, if Mr. Wolowitz, let's say he's going to be subject to the Malay elephant stampede here, if Mr. Wolowitz goes for monks, the Britain's crossbows, with their extra range, mind you, will easily snipe the monks. If he goes for pikemen, the Britain's crossbows will take out the pikemen. So suddenly we're looking at a very tough combo to stop. However, Saracens could, in theory, go for camels, but then again they would also be weak to range fire from crossbows. So we'll see what they will end up doing here. The DADS here, but I have a hunch they will be going for the elephants. Finally, we have on the south side, we have Tatars for Shakuni. Famous or infamous cavalry archer civ, depending on how you look at it. Fantastic boom after a recent patch where they were granted 2 sheep to spawn instantly under the TC in Feudal Age, and for each new TC in the Castle Age as well, you get 2 sheep. Considering that sheep provide 50 extra food per sheep for Tatars, that's 300 extra food every time you build a TC. So that's going to delay the need for farms quite a bit. You don't need quite a lot of farms at Tatars given this extra food, so you get a very good early economy rolling for yourself. So, but what's going to be the plan for the other team here? I'm expecting Khmer to go into boom mode, see the Castle Age well on the way here, on the 50 seconds away. I was looking at a 30 Castle Age here, maybe. Let's look at the resources as well. What kind of setup they have here. Pac-Man Stally with wood and stone for at least 1 more TC here. Probably not going to provide any army anytime soon. Then there's the Saracens though. Could double rangers here, so we'll have some archers, or rather potentially crossbows of their own to handle the Britons here. Double rangers for both players, even some skirmishers added for Anon, so Anon playing this maybe a little bit on the defensive side here until they can get the armies rolling for the pocket. Blacksmith stable up for the Malay player, and remember that Malay go more quickly through the ages as well, so those countdown here should be going much quicker than any of the other sims going up. Meanwhile, we have Shokuni fat slowing it up on the right hand side here, so southeast should we call it that. Double stone walls already obviously taking its toll on their economy, but if they can save this side, it means that all the aggression will have to be funneled around over to the other side. So it might pay off long term, not risking any aggression on this side. Shark slob, yes, exactly. Even towers going up here. Nice. That's going to keep those Chinese archers at bay here for sure. Markets being used extensively here as well to adjust manipulate the economy. Double stables here, not something you usually see from Malay, unless they are going for this specifically. So what's the number situation here? We have 12 Saracens archers. We have a mix of archers and skirms from Britons. And then Knights production actually from Pac-Man Stally, so Mr. Wololowitz might have an idea of what might be coming here. Right now with this Knights and Archers push, that's going to be bad news for Alon 642. Could risk taking some losses here because the Knights will or should easily snipe the skirmishers here, but there's a limit as to how far they can go in here as well, because of the placement of the houses and the buildings here really more or less forces the aggression to move towards the town center. Oh, I love how Alon garrisons the skirmishers and archers inside the town center there, because that means that the archers and skirms also provide arrows from the TC, meaning that the TC will fire more arrows even and idle less villagers overall. Some casualties on the woodlands here though, and well, there's actually Bloom in for Anon here, so might have averted some damage there. Skirmishers and archers alone won't deal with knights though, and they are very careful as to not to show that their pocket player is in fact going for the elephants here. Already great value for the Pac-Man Stallion, Mr. Wololowitz here though. Just have a look at the idle eco time here for Anon as compared to literally everyone else here. Shakuni has a pretty high one as well, but that's I'm assuming due to the walling and towering on the sides here. Committing villagers to that, I don't think they've been under some significant attacks here. 14 elephants though at minute 19 for the Northern Tenor. It's not quite going to be 20 elephants in 20 minutes, but it's not far off. The upgrades aren't in yet though. No armor, no attack, but most certainly the numbers. Look at those fat boys. So 17 battle elephants moving forward and more to come. Only 7 knights for Pac-Man Stally to help out. We have Britons only halfway all the way to the cast stage here. 1 minute 10 seconds left. Same goes for Pleb Guardiola. This could be very hurtful for Mr. Wololois here, but he does pull the archers back and should be able to have them become crossbowmen in time for the elephant center. You can't really run into the elephants here with these archers masses. They will melt everything. Have such high HP even without the upgrades. The defense is in actually. Good reaction from Mr. Wololowitz to see this coming and go into the house walls here to try and keep the aggression out. But will it be enough? This is a very all-in play from the pocket. Only 1 TC. I'm guessing Murr is on 3 TCs already now, so long-term economy is certainly looking a lot better for Nepo clan here, having a 20 villagers lead already. But how do you handle 20 elephants firing away at your economy like this though? It's only a matter of time before they break through and stop the Saracens from massing more archers here if they focus on the buildings here. Crossbow is in for the Britain's player as well. It means they will outrange the Saracens unit, so with the elephant in between you can still get some great hits in on the army masses of Mr. Wololowitz. I think Deno should be focusing on the archers though, maybe before crossbow can kick in. But here comes Amon with the crossbows and skirms as well, and this should be a pretty solid forward. They are melee elephants though, means they only get that +1 armor, so even with their massive HP, 250 HP, they will take more damage to arrow fire. Pac-Man Stally trying to provide from the pocket position as well, but it's mainly in boom mode here, so you need to adjust your economy quickly to adjust for for more army production to contest this. Quite a sizable, decent chunk of Saracen's crossbow though, helping out, but the TC goes down. No TC for Mr. Wolowitz now. Not going to be producing any villagers anytime soon. Let's see the idle TC time of Mr. Wolowitz should... That's actually funny, the idle TC counter doesn't count because there is no TC. So, no more idle TC time for Mr. Wolowitz until another TC has been built here. Knights won't really provide too much, they have +1/+1, but this is 21 elephants total, going to completely obliterate Mr. Wolowitz's starting base here. Preventing them from providing army. 19-0 is their population there, or close to being defeated here. So they should be thankful that the elephants are rather slow, so they can't really chase the villagers off when they're fleeing like this. Army production, crossbows, try to produce crossbows. There are 3 ranges. The market should maybe be focused here as well from Deno, just to make sure that the Saracens can't manipulate their way back into the game here, but overall eco of course not especially strong for Mr. Wolowitz here. So the elephants are doing work, and meanwhile Shakuni going into some siege here on this end. Going to just keep the enemy out, I guess. There are some walls going up for Pleb Guardiola as well. They will have to provide, have all their focus on this side now. Some monks even on the field to try and handle the knights from the current player here. And 23 battle elephants now on the move to go for the pocket. And the more monks that either of them can provide here, the harder it will be for Pac-Man Sally to hold this off of their own. They will be dependent upon archers from Pleb Guardiola to take out enemy monks here. And knights on knights versus battle elephants here. Still, battle elephants are outnumbering the knights by a few here. I didn't expect so many elephants over there. Well, you never do. But when the other team has melee and hideout, maybe that's something to worry about. So look at the villager numbers now. We have 151 actually against 147. So funnily enough, Nepo clan, having one player almost defeated, still has the villager lead because of some one TC plays from both Britons and Malay here. Seats at horse with 3 TCs total, so the total TC count is 5-7 here between the players. So I'm guessing Pleb Guardiola has extended their eco as well. But now looking at the hit on pocket like this, and then total numbers here 27-13, and Britain's crossbows joining the party as well. Monks will now be somewhat useless, and with the elephants in between and the Britain's +1 extra range, it's going to be tough for Pleb Guardiola to engage as well. Welcome back, Wencho Bala. We're witnessing the 20 elephants in 20 minutes here. Now we're at 30 minutes, and that seemed to be rather successful in the push here for now, anyway. Why is every building flashing? It's the snow, I guess. I'm using the no snow mod in-game, but it doesn't seem to apply to Capture Age for some reason. Elephant numbers diminishing though, 14. This is 2nd division actually. It's, yeah, we can't see it here, but this is Division 2. I'll be casting this one and the next one as well, and then 1 game from the 1st division between Regina and Champagne. So it's going to be a long one. The previous 3rd division game lasted for 2 hours, but it was a good one, so pretty sure that one will be going to YouTube as well. Now what though? DADS have taken 1 player out of the game. Means that this base is actually up for claim for DADS here. They could get some gold, could steal these farms even if Mr. Wolowitz isn't paying attention and deletes them. Bit of a reboom going on here, and still, all things considered, Nepo clan is sitting at a 12 villager lead and an army lead. So even with this strong push, Pleb Guardiola, especially never having been hit on this side, could actually be looking at a rather early Imperial Age here and some serious momentum there to push for a bit castles and army from this side. Here we see Anon sneakily taking the enemy gold here. The monks here to heal up friendly units, and Pac-Man Stanley with Khmer battle elephants as well to actually contest the melee ones here. These may be... Oh, it's the revenge of Pac-Man Stanley here now. Going for the counter elephant approach here against the melee ones. And funnily enough, the Khmer elephants, they have more upgrades. They will outmatch the melee battle elephants easily here. So that's a fun choice to go for the elephant response here. Good reaction from Amon though, going to multiple monsters here to get some conversions in. So army numbers 31 to 27, not too dissimilar there. I'm assuming Pleb Guardiola, or rather both the Pocket and Pleb Guardiola, are in somewhat of a boom mode here still. Imperial Age on the way though. That could mean Elite Battle Elephant for the Khmer player. Let's have a look at the resources here. Not quite yet, but especially if you look at Pleb Guardiola's resources here, the holding or not caring about the walls going up here, dropping some castles of course for the long-term play here and security area, but going into the room here and an earlier imp means that traps will be an option. Could push through here and start hitting the Tatars player, who is mainly now, Shakun now mainly on Keshiks here. Yeah, it's evening out a bit now. I mean, Nepo clan, they did kind of lose one player, but Mr. Wolowitz is in full reboom mode over here. A couple more town centers going up now, and they will be joining the game again soon enough if they can reboom undisturbed here. And that's the danger of these all in place with one TC from both pocket and flank as well, that you are essentially leaving at least one player alone, and then that leaves time for both them and the almost defeated teammate to get back into it. So Pac-Man Stanley wants to avenge his teammate being hit by mass elephants by massing elephants of his own. Match won't work, unfortunately. That's tied to my Steam ID. But you should still be able to get, hopefully, the player's elos by exclamation mark rank and the player's nickname. What's the average elo in Division 2? Oh, it's very different. I believe the lowest ones are in the 1200s and the highest ones above 1600. So let's say around 1400 average, maybe even 1500 for some teams. Stone walls for Pac-Man Stanley. And I'm going to try and make a choke point here to make it tough for the enemies to approach easily here. Barracks now going up for 10 of those. That's a good call to go into the pikes or halberdiers here against the elephants push here. A bit of a cleanup here from Guardiola as well, finding the remaining Keshiks, waiting a little bit here for Shakuni. Shakuni not being hit at home, top score on their team, already setting up trade as well. They're still having their pocket in the cast stage actually, with Shakuni in the Imperial, and Anon just clicked up as well. I'm wondering how this will turn out though. Now we have Imperial Age Elite Battle Elephants for Khmer here. That should be no problem whatsoever for Deno to handle. And to be honest, with Deno still in the cast stage, I don't see DADS stopping this. They will be needing mass halberdiers, ideally. Monks will help out a bit as well. Keshiks won't really provide as much here. They have 130 HP, 9 plus 2 attack. And look at these big boys here with 320 HP and more attack than the Keshiks. Never going to be a good trade. A few conversions, sure, but here comes the elephant's revenge. Villager situation actually looking decent for DADS here. They have more villagers total than Nepo clan, but look at the military though, 89 to 41 here. And we'll be having Pleb Guardiola joining with some rangers on this side as well, so there will be crossbows, no arbalest to snipe enemy pikemen as well. Stonewalls here should keep the aggression out from the Tatar side here. Shakuni playing it full defensively here, so that frees up the field for the teammates to push completely on the other side here. Sure, some conversions might happen here, but you can't really mass enough monks to stop this amount of elephants. So 32 elite battle elephants for Pac-Man style here now. Giving payback in the best possible respect to the early 20 elephant rush from Deno here. APLH is in, but Deno doesn't seem to have any army at all, which will be very hurtful here. Their economy seems to not really allow for an easy Halberdier switch either. Quite a few stables going up here for Shakuni. Could be that they want to go into heavy camel here to try and handle the battle elephants. A few conversions after all, but shouldn't be nearly enough to hold off this forward. These disco lights on the buildings are getting kind of annoying though, but we'll stick with capture H. We have quite a bit of stats here to follow. Tram on the way for Pleb Guardiola. Do they want to start a strong push on this side simultaneously? It's 23 Keshiks, and that's the only army that Shakuni has, so there should be some merit for a push on this side as well. Halberdiers are in for Anon though. Let's see the upgrade situation. +2 defense. 1 attack. But look at the arbalest mass now joining in. That effectively renders the halberdiers useless here. It's yeah, should be easy snipes for Pleb Guardiola here if Unknown comes in with halberdiers to try and snipe the battle elephants. So good conversions coming in though, so it's going to take the arbalest a while to take out those. Only 13 elite battle elephants now. Keshik joining the party as well, so all the action almost seems to be happening on this side, but now some battle elephants on the on Shakuni's side as well. So this could be hurtful as well if the elephant commitment starts over here. Still one Keshik raiding. Probably bringing in just a little trickle of gold here to Shakuni. But with these choke points and the elite battle elephant numbers just increasing here, I'm not seeing DADS able to hold this long term, now that they're being hit on the other side as well. Almost back in the game. Yeah, you see Brad, these 86 villagers have done Mr. Wolomovitz has done a heck of a job rebooming down here. Going through some markets as well for a short trade route here. I guess that's a good option. DADS already have trade up and running to some extent, so they will have consistent gold income behind all of this. Getting rather laggy here though, I have to say. But I think it will be even in the in-game spectator here. So we have Malay elite battle elephants versus Khmer elite battle elephants here. The issue being the upgrades. So Malay only +1 and sorry, +3 attack, +1 defense, but the Khmer elephants essentially get full upgrade, so the Khmer elite battle elephants will win these engagements any day if the Khmer player keeps committing here. Joining the party again here though. What's the elephant situation down here? A bit of trap pushing to take down the walls here. But slow push this. Barracks going up for Deno here as well, so they're setting up for the long game here to try and hold off on the south side and then push on the north side here. Deno is out elephanting the Khmer here, but the GG is called. So it will be DADS game in the end. Actually, they're holding the south side, winning the top, and keeping a somewhat healthy eco behind this, even more military. I'm a bit surprised to see the GG here, but it could be the overall eco situation of the opposing team here. That was a bit of a surprise to have it stop right there, but let's see the stats here. Brought to you by M. Night Shyamalan. Alright, KD here, let's see. On the positive side, after all. Arnon with a negative one here, but he was playing the supporting role after all with the Britons and did so well. Did go into halberdiers as well, and they were, of course, dying into enemy arms for a time there. Pakistan with an amazing boom with 127, but all over 100 something villagers here. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised to see the GG there, but it could be the trade timing, that the trade profit already started kicking in for DADS, and if that gets noticed by the other team and they don't really have it yet, that's a bit of a setback for their production tabs. Pretty impressive army flow though, I have to say, so good game by DADS for sure.